Like, is my internet like botting, or do I just sound robotic?
Well, I can't tell. It's all the same on my end. You
I just
sound robotic, but it could be.
I rather sound robotic instead of my internet is
like
actually
your
botting out.
video. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's just how you sound. That's
okay. Yeah, I rather sound that way instead of my internet sounding that way. That'd be worse because I had to do the whole getting the internet together. I do not want to deal with that. We had to deal with that when I first moved down here. Nevertheless, this is episode 191 of the First and Framerates podcast. We are 9 episodes away. Look, by the way things going, episode 200 to be where? What day that episode 200 be? Would it be at the end of the year? I wonder what day that will be. That'd be great. If we do one we probably won't do one Thursday because of Thanksgiving.
It'll be around mid-December.
Mid-December, okay.
Yeah, because you're talking about after this week, talking about 8 shows twice a week. That's the next 4 weeks. That's the next month away.
Yeah, it'll probably be like the week before Christmas or something like that.
See, I can't do math.
Hey, nobody
was asking me about that, but I'm just randomly wanted to say that because they say niggas don't know math. I'm like, wait a minute. No. Check this, check this out. But here's a history lesson though. We created this shit. So don't even go there saying that black people don't know math. I'm like,
who said that though?
That's what I was saying. Where did that come from?
No, I just said it was
watermelon not knowing math. Is that like the third?
Third? No, why don't you go ahead and add stealing to it? Like shit.
Baggy pants don't know math. Like what?
Right. Matthew's hat.
That's just a random. Like I said before, it was just a random
throwback jersey,
and I knew it was.
Wow. Just pile on. Why don't
just add the
big ass noses and a
wide nose,
having breathing all the
curly hair, nappy hair. Just.
I was like, that's one thing I never heard associated with us is not knowing how to do math.
No. Here's the thing: growing up, there was an association with not being able to do math and being African American, which is totally bullshit because we created this shit. So
let's get into these topics for DJ to do more stereotypes on us. We're going to talk about the best and worst of last generation.
Just because I'm half white doesn't mean I'm providing.
Hey, hold up!
You said I'm providing stereotypes, like I'm working for the other side. Right. I'm like 25% of me is on the other side.
Hey, Bills, we might have to start looking at him kind of weird and like, wait a minute, bro, what are you doing?
We gotta start telling the white folks and everybody else to come in after the first 5 minutes of the podcast.
Man. Like, what are we doing? Look,
a nigga only segment.
Right. Wow. First 5 minutes, be advised. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the best and worst of last gen. Some of our favorite games, some of our worst games. Sports or not, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Drew Brees. He suffered a pretty significant injury based on his age and his position. Is he going to come back? Is he going to play? He probably won't play for the rest of the season. I'll be surprised, maybe. But as far as the rest of his career, we're going to talk about that. What's going to happen from there? And we're going to talk about Bills had an issue with next generation NBA 2K21. Oh no, nobody's been saying this. He's like the only one on that hill, so he's going to explain what the hell is going on with the pick and roll in NBA 2K21 on the Xbox Series X. I'm also sure that it's on the PlayStation 5 as well. So we're going to get into that. Bills, I'm going to let you go with the intro first. How have you been?
Busy, man. Just finished recording a song today. It's pretty good. I think it's going to be a pretty good song. Went on 2K and played a little scrimmage and same bullshit. So
SSD.
We'll get into that. We'll get into
that. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. What about you, DJ? How have you been, my good man?
Well, other than that was a weird ending. But I never heard him say it like that before. So this is me noticing stuff. But other than that, weekend's been good. Washington lost another close game. And I'm just ready for these topics. We'll finally get some news tomorrow.
We're gonna definitely talk about that Thursday.
Yes, we will
definitely talk about that Thursday.
So that means for anybody who's thinking I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow on my stream, newsflash: no, I am not preempting this show just to get the scoop. So
I'm already on the hill that I'm dying on. So I'm already all in. I done told y'all, look, hey, Madden Next Gen. I don't think it's going to be like a phenomenal leap, but it's going to be a game that people want to enjoy playing. I'm calling it first. It's going to be a different game, and I think it's going to be a game that people are going to actually say, hey, this is a big enough leap where we can actually have fun with the game. And I may take it even a step further as I get more information. But we'll go from there. As far as my quick intro, I'm gonna 100% commit to just streaming my gameplay on Twitch. I already did a Streamlabs test and that went well. I'm talking about everything outside of the sports retro streams. That's still going to be here on YouTube. Other than that, all the other stuff like the podcast, obviously, if I do like VF Lives where I just sit and talk, that's going to be here. But as far as gameplay, sports related or not, I'm going to go ahead and put that all on the I'm going to put that all on the Twitch channel. I'm like really close getting Twitch affiliate, and I'm like tenths of a point away, and I'm just gonna go all in and just put all my gameplay over there. So you guys, I put that in the description. You guys can go ahead and follow me there. I mean, it's been an uptick of follows over there. I'm almost at 150 really fast. So I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Bill's actually went live. He did a live stream, so you guys need to go over there and follow him as well.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here. That's the wrong time to come over here. You better wait for a patch or some shit.
Do it. Don't listen to him. Follow him regardless.
If you want the real scoop on NBA 2K, you go to Bill's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we always keep it up. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, to be honest, I probably will start streaming either NHL or maybe Call of Duty. We'll see. And then
why not?
Once they get it in shape, but we don't know when that's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, so yeah, dude, and also DJ as well. He has his Twitch as well. Go ahead and follow him there every Wednesday. For the most part, I know it may be other days too, but I know for the most part on Wednesdays he streams as well. You can go ahead and check out his Twitch channel. I need to make a banner for you, Bills, as well, so we can get all that together. So all that's down in the description. So while you guys after the podcast or whatever, because I don't want you to leave just yet because we got a lot to talk about. But after the podcast, go and make that commitment and follow all of us over there on Twitch. That's pretty much where the gameplay is going to be. Us talking noise and giving you the real deal about these games is going to be here on YouTube. So talking here, gaming over here. And, we always do what we have to do over as far as giving you guys the information, our opinions, and all the other good stuff. And speaking of opinions, we're going to talk about Last Gen real quick. And we want to talk about some games that we like, some games that we dislike, and this is where you guys in the comment section could come in as well, and let us know the games that you like from the PS4, Xbox One, or hell, even a Nintendo Switch. Those games, we can talk about the good and the bad and what's going forward, and we just go from there. So, me personally, as far as the games that I like, I'm just going to start out with one, and this is going to be a big deal to me because I can't let go of this game throughout this entire generation. Even though I tried to play the other game, I'm in love with Forza 5. I mean, I recently got my Xbox. I got another Xbox, and I've been playing this game, and I've been really amazed how much content is in this game. Even once I bought the season pass, well worth the mission, and I really love the fact that game had everything that I wanted. I mean, yeah, some of the cars were DLC based on Forza 1 or Forza 2, but if you pay for the game, if you pay for the season pass, I think it's like another $30 or $40. I don't know how much it is now, but I paid full price when it came out. It actually feels like I paid for another game because I got like maybe 300 more cars. I got like 40 or 50 more tracks. So for me, that's one of the best games of this generation. It was a launch title. So that's another good thing, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that where a launch title like lingers over time for a gamer like me. But That's one of the best for me. Any of y'all want to go for one of the best for you guys?
Let me see. One of the best. Definitely like the God of War. Definitely was a good one. God of War.
That's the one. Yeah, that's good.
Uncharted for it's kind of like the corporate 2 for Sony. I'm trying to figure out a third party that was really good. I'm like, obviously, I like No Man's Sky, and that's going to continue on to next generation. So that was a good game for me, even though it started out pretty ugly.
Are we counting Battlefield 4?
I'm thinking Battlefield 1. Actually,
I want to because I like
Battlefield. Do you freeze? Oh, okay. I thought you froze for a second.
Go ahead,
I like Battlefield 4, but it's just like something. Battlefield 1 had a better story in their campaign. They had a better soundtrack overall, and the sound effects were a lot better in Battlefield 1. Overall gameplay went to Battlefield 4, but everything else went to Battlefield 1.
I want to say Battlefield 4, but Battlefield 4 is still technically a PS3, Xbox 360 game.
That's why I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I mean, as far as content, I mean, it's still one of the best games as far as content. You buy premium and you felt like you got what you deserved. I mean, you didn't feel like you got, cheated or anything. But I wanted to put that up there along with Forza 5, but it's still technically a PS3 game, but it's still a great game. I mean, I don't know how many people playing on console, but I know on PC, I mean, the servers are like mad full. I mean, G-Rob could attest to that. I mean, he still plays it on PC as well. I mean, there's a lot of people still playing Battlefield 4, and I'm not really surprised, but it just goes to show you how great that game it still is.
Well, to stay on shooters, I'll do a Call of Duty World War II because that was their return to boots on the ground, and it was a really good return. That game was extremely fun.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of hours in that game, so I gotta put that one up there.
I don't have my PS4 version anymore. I just noticed that I need to buy that again.
I got a negative. Watch Dogs. I'm sorry.
Wait, the first one?
Wait a minute, the first one?
The rest of them.
The second one was a bowl of shit, but the first one became a chore after about 4 hours. It felt like a chore because the hacking got repetitive. And I mean, come on, how can I not give a game a thumbs down that had a quick time event as the end of the game? I mean, that's like a drop in the bucket. Yeah. So Watch Dogs goes on the negative.
Okay. I'm about to say the positive. I see what you mean by negative.
Yeah.
As far as my game negative wise, I'm gonna probably have to be right there with you and say Watch Dogs, because that game was supposed to be the game that was supposed to be the game that was supposed to define next gen. When you saw that vertical slice of a trailer, you thought that you was going to get that as far as that was going to be the standard of what's to come next gen, and it just flopped. I can't think of another game that came out around that time or in this entire generation that fooled everybody that bad. When I did play it,
real quick, based on what you said, I would say Watch Dogs and The Division were the two games that gave me trust issues with E3.
Well, I can see a Division. I also can see to an extent. I can see to an extent where people will probably say, Battlefield Hardline could be one. Even though I like the game, but I can see where people could say that was a game that disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean, me personally, I thought
that got to go on the negative for me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I can see how.
Battlefield 5 negative.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not even close. That's another one.
Game was an abomination.
Yeah, and it had so much promise because the gunplay was actually pretty good, but the game itself is just terrible. Yeah, so I'm with you on that. DJ, you got anyone that's negative?
Well, Harden get traded?
Hold on, I got a note.
I heard the notification too.
Let me look.
But just to go,
it wasn't. It was on UFC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to add a couple. No, just I actually wanted to add a couple to the positive before I go negative.
Cool,
So
you going, you good.
both divisions,
But the
because
division two wasn't that bad though.
well, no, I said both divisions. Division two I liked because it was in DC, and that was the one. It went 1-for-1 as far as the map layout. Like I literally was going to certain places on the map, and I was like, damn, I was just here like 2 weeks ago. Like New York didn't when the division came out. New York wasn't drawn out 1-for-1. It was like 1-for-2 or 1-for-4, whatever the scale was. But DC was definitely 1-for-1. So I definitely like my exploration time, especially the mission. And again, I'm drawn into the sound effects. The soundtrack was banging. I'm like, it motivated you and propelled you to do a lot of those gunfights. And plus, the AI was super smart. So
I will say Division Two was a pretty good game. I mean, I bought it on PC for like $3, and my thing was I kind of felt that I should have bought that at a higher price because they did a pretty good job with that game.
All right, so negative. I will also say the Division 1, because they originally said that you was going to not only have the 4 players, that you was going to have players be able to drop in and use devices as controlled, and that turned out to be a lie. They had to change certain aspects of it, like they couldn't get the real New York Police Department logo, so they had to go with something generic, and they completely changed that first part in Brooklyn. So there was that big tunnel that event. I don't know if it was. I guess it was in Brooklyn. It was a big tunnel that you could go in and explore, and winds up you can't do anything about it. So the division there, No Man's Sky, when it first launched, yes, that was a complete lie. Like you see the trend here. It's about people lying to us as gamers. So. And then, last but not least, and not because of the gameplay, again for the pattern, Madden 21.
Wait a minute, disappointment?
Yes, lying about the franchise mode.
Okay,
that's what I said.
I
preferenced it. I was like,
I totally understand that. Yeah, I got you.
So if you're gonna lie to me, you're gonna disappoint me. So that right there, and then the outright disappointment was Homefront.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Yeah, you know what?
That was the game I took an L on.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That might have been that might have been like the worst one, even of Watch Dogs. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even lying about that.
And the thing was, it was in production hell, the development hell, the whole entire time. And I was just like, well, let me just see what they. And I was just like, oh God! Even the first, like the character faces, the AI was horrible. I'm like it. Some aspect of it was fun, but it didn't have a soul. Like the first Homefront was great because it had a story. You know, shout out to Rex Dixon. You know, for Homefront.
Yep.
So yeah, I was motivated to do the playthrough Homefront, but Homefront what was it? Homefront Revolution.
It was called a Revolution. Yeah. They need to remake the first one or something because that game was great. I really enjoyed that game.
Who stole mine? I was gonna do WWE 2K for the entire generation. To be honest, a lot of people might do a double take when they think about this, but trust me, it's spot on. WWE's Universe mode. You could say the same thing about Madden's franchise. They're in the same situation.
Really?
Underperforming, incremental changes year to year, some years completely ignored, and point blank period, just not good enough. The gameplay took no significant leaps throughout the generation, and you had
seemed like it took some steps back.
It did, and then you had pretty much an entire boxed release with WWE 2K20. So yeah,
wow.
And the thing is, I keep canceled game last year.
And the thing is, I keep saying I was going to try one, and I never got around to buying one, even when it was free.
Well, you ain't missing much.
I think it was free in one of them years. Like it was free for one of those. It was like a PlayStation Plus. One of the games was free on PlayStation Plus, I think. And I still didn't try it. And I actually thought about trying it.
Another negative, and I know VF is going to agree with me on this. NBA Playgrounds.
Oh my God! Man, both of them was terrible.
But the second one was even worse because you had to play a million years to unlock a mid-tier player.
I didn't even play the second one, bro.
Wasn't fun enough to warrant me playing the game that many hours.
I didn't even play the second one because, I mean, the first one was so bad, and I bought the first one. I bought that first one for full price. Oh my God!
James Harden was right-handed on the game.
I mean, it was terrible. I mean, my God, I was like, bro, that had to be the worst sports title. That probably was worse than Live 14 because that game was like they did way too much in that game for no reason.
You know what I'm gonna say?
What's that?
I'm gonna give Live 14 a positive, and I'll tell you why.
I'm with you.
Live 14, as far as how they displayed a lot of the things they were trying basketball-wise, was not good at all. But if you knew what they were trying to display, whether it was hedging, pick and rolls, or the way that the Spurs, me and VF talked a lot about the way the Spurs ran their playbook, right? In NBA Live 14, it didn't look visibly appealing, but you got where they were going with it.
I think that the thing about Live 14 is the players did exactly what you wanted them to do, and that's very hard.
In a good, aesthetically pleasing manner.
No, it wasn't in a good manner, but they did. I mean, it was functional in a way where it was like, okay, it did what you wanted to do. In some games you want that, but some games you don't. Like in a situation, like in some cases, if you want to run a play, you want players to run a play. But then again, you have situations where players' ratings, players' personalities, they don't do what they're supposed to do because there's a reason why differentiation of players exists. In Live 14, they necessarily didn't have that. It was like, look, I want to run this, and that's what it did. And I was, to an extent, I didn't have a problem with that because I knew where the game was at the time.
And I would say 2K Next Gen just barely topped their dribbling system from Live 14.
Now one thing about Live as well, that their dribbling system, the Live dribbling system in its entire generation was always good, even in 16.
Yeah, but Live 14 was untouched though. That was like crazy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'm totally with you on that. As far as positive, definitely, Live 15, that was literally my game. I played a lot of that. As far as negative on the on the sports game is scale, Live 16, Madden, that was abysmal.
That was a bad year for EA.
Yeah, it was.
Madden 16, Live
Madden
16.
16. I mean, you can even make the case that I didn't like Madden 15 too much either, because their tackling and the fullback was just non-existent. The fullback just did not know how to block all of a sudden. It was terrible. Trying to think anything. I would say MLB The Show 15 is another one I didn't like.
Wasn't that the one?
I don't even want to talk about MLB The Show 20. I'm not even talking about that one. But
wasn't 15 the one? No, yeah, 15 was the one that supposedly was supposed to go live on the site at 12 or at 12 midnight, and it never did. And
until
some of us fought to
yep.
get refunds, and we were able to get them.
That was it, because the game was supposed to come out at midnight, and then people didn't get the game till almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I stayed up until I want to say 5 or 6 in the morning, and I literally was just talking to people on Twitter like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, because they did promise the midnight release. They really did.
Yep.
And I ended up going and buying it.
Yep, you did. Yep.
And getting a refund.
And the only reason why I didn't bitch because I had to work that day, so I didn't stay up to midnight. If I had to work, I would have been mad. I would have been super mad.
I was fucking heated.
I was all over that. I was all over Sony for that one. I was taking pictures. I was like, look what y'all made me do. Y'all promised a midnight release for digital, and y'all ain't trying to give me a refund. And now when I got the refund, I showed the receipt. It was like I went to GameStop.
Right.
One
of the last times I went to GameStop for a game. And Yeah.
Like it was supposed to be a midnight release. Everybody who had it digital, and what happened was the game did not release until like 3:00 that afternoon. I remember that.
Yep.
That was terrible.
Sony turned into a bunch of bitches. It was just like, oh, now we got to refine our refund statement.
Yeah, they had to change their refund policy.
Yeah.
Yep. Horrible.
Punk.
But yeah,
Drip X. I'll get to that in a second.
But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like in general, like as far as sports gaming, those are pretty much the two. As far as positives, I was a really big fan of I was a fan of Live 15. As far as the Maddens go, I will say Madden 25 easily. That's probably my favorite one. I've become a fan of Madden 17 and what was the other one? I'll say Madden 21. Madden 20 would have got my vote, but Madden 20 running animation is the worst. Mm-hmm. But I'll say Madden 21 for this generation was actually probably that 17 and 25. But if I had to pick out of three, it'll be 25 because their running game is always has not been touched since.
I will say this.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say real quick. If I was gonna say sports game of that console generation, got to be PES 20 as far as on the field. Mm-hmm. Replicating the sport, PES 20 was top notch. I don't think anything really touches PES 20. Yeah, I mean, PES 20 I think is in a league of its own as far as replicating their sport.
That game's on PC, right?
Is it? Yeah, it is. It is.
Like, I remember seeing it on Steam. I was just curious because I didn't know. But another one that I was a big fan of NHL 18. I was a big fan of that. I keep saying I'm gonna buy NHL 21, but I need to see what it's gonna be like on the PS5. Is it coming out on PS5? I haven't heard anything.
Not this year.
Which game?
NHL 21.
Oh yeah, that. Oh no. NHL 21 right now is backwards compatible.
Okay.
Apparently.
So I'll just go ahead and get it on. Let's go ahead and finally just get it on the PS4 since it's not backwards compatible. Because one thing I would say is, as far as all the sports titles, I think NHL was one of the games that actually they made pretty good strides throughout the entire generation, in my opinion. I look at how it started out with NHL 15. No, was it 15? Yeah, 15. And then I watched it evolve. And once it got to 18, I was sold. I was to the point where I could play that game and don't have to worry about another one. But since you two guys are saying 21 is like the game to get now, I think I need to go ahead and get that. I need to go ahead and get it because shout out to people say you don't do a good job at certain games. Yeah, they have a bad rap, but I will say NHL is one of those franchises that they've done a phenomenal job with. If you don't like it, there's a guy named Soft String Sports. You can go and watch his channel.
Oh, but I was gonna say, here's one that turned around throughout the console generation: EA UFC. They started out rough. The first three were really rough around the edges. They improved with each one. 3 was okay, but 4 is phenomenal. So I gotta give them a thumbs up based on 4, because they did constantly progress. They didn't take any steps back. So I give them credit for that.
Okay. Because I mean, I know you've been saying a lot about UFC 4 when it first came out. You was talking about it heavily. And, me, anytime I get anything UFC related, I give it to you. I mean, I'm a fan of the sport. I watch it. Just don't. For some reason, I just don't play the game. So, like when I got the beta codes last time, I gave them straight to you. I mean, I don't have nothing against the game. It's just not my game to play. But go ahead.
I was just gonna ask y'all: do any of the 2Ks stick out to y'all at all? I mean,
16
to me, they ran
15.
Yeah,
15 was a good one. 16 was good because they actually put an emphasis on the big man. Because the big man play was actually worked on, and you could tell. Like the post game was actually pretty good in 16.
I'd say they ended the console generation with the best one, in my opinion.
20?
21.
Or 21. You mean 21? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
20 wasn't bad. 19 was pretty good too. I think at the end of the day, I think 2K did a pretty good job as far as the entire generation.
Casey Classic said 2K. A lot of people call 2K16 the best one, low key.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would say 2K16 was the one with the big man. They actually gave the big man props. I agree with that.
2K16 to me.
Complimentary Sports says 19. I like 19.
Me and DJ talked about 2K16 heavily. I just felt like the players on the perimeter felt like they were in mud a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then the arena lighting definitely took a step back from 15.
Oh God.
Yeah, the arena lighting took a step back since what 14.
Finally, they corrected it. Finally,
Yeah,
they corrected this year on
it.
next gen because Lord knows that arena lighting was struggling for the better part of this console generation. So
yeah, I like 15 because that was the introduction to my league, and when because at that time it was just you just had my GM, and then it was just like okay, my league, and it was just like great. And then all they did was just expand upon it every single year. And I think that each year they expanded upon it and made these big leaps forward. But I know in the last couple, well, not next gen, they really just made everything customizable. So that seemed like that was the most logical steps forward, was to make everything customizable and then combine everything. So I like the creation of I wonder whose idea that was to come up with my league.
I don't know, but whoever did,
my league off of my GM. Even though like 2K and Smitty likes to throw this out here, and it's just like, okay, yeah, they had an association mode before that, but they didn't expand upon it like they did with my league. So there. So
Subliminary Sports said Madden 19 has the best lighting and shadows. I'm going to disagree. I think Madden 21's lighting is exceptional.
Madden 19 wasn't bad either, though.
It wasn't bad. But
I'll probably be a little biased. Yeah.
Until we see those pictures tomorrow.
No,
because that man's article is including pictures.
All I know is I'm referring right back to that bullshit ass trailer with the Tom Brady in the rain. I'm referring right back to that shit.
Like in-engine footage.
Ugh. That'd be funny if you put up the same screenshot.
Oh,
right. That'd be horrible, right?
Hollywood was like, "Are you gonna post any footage?" But like, he's writing an article.
The game isn't. I mean, the game's like 2 weeks from coming out. He can't post footage. What are you talking about?
That's typical Hollywood for you right there, bro.
Oh.
I mean, shout
out to Hollywood though.
Shout out to him, but that's vintage right there. I mean,
that and the fact that he posted it was like, oh, there's 12 left in stock at Amazon. It was like a $1,400 sale going.
Hollywood.
It was like a joke within a joke because it said 1440, and you know PS5's not native 1440.
Oh my god!
Right? I mean, when he said that, I was like, really Hollywood, really?
Who said Rocket League? I'll be honest, I wanted to try it, but I never played it. I heard it was great.
I haven't done it.
Yeah, a lot of people say Rocket League. Rocket League is probably one of the best games for people that like overall. I think a lot of people fell in love with it. I was not a fan of it. I never played it, but when I watch people play it on Twitch, and people were like having a blast. And I think when you watch games and you see people play games, when people are genuinely having fun, I can totally understand what people say that could be their favorite game of the generation. It's not like one of these games like Among Us. I don't want to talk about that game. Where people just playing it because it's popular. I mean, I don't think people just trying to find a party game throughout COVID. I don't think it's like, oh man, this game is awesome. That game's trash.
Yeah, if there was no COVID, they wouldn't be playing Among Us and all
right.
That.
You know, that's why I was like, nah, I'm good.
Here's one I just thought about. Actually, two I just thought about. Shadow of Mordor.
That is a really good game. That was a good game this generation. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that was a good game for the generation. I totally agree. That one.
I just didn't like the graphical downgrade for the sequel, but the first one, I'm like, because the first one they had a 4K HDR patch that was really good, and then the second one you did it for that, it was like all cloudy and just overall graphical.
They even gave a patch for the consoles. It wasn't just a patch for PC.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It was for the consoles,
right? Yeah, because they gave a 4K. I mean, albeit it was 4K 30. I mean, it still looked phenomenal. You know, right. I mean, that's one of those games that it would have been cool to be at 60, but at 30, I could see where people were still like enjoying it. And I did not complain when they did make that 4K 30. I mean, because it was just one of the games I didn't really complain about. But that was probably like the most surprising game of the generation, I'll say.
And you know what? Just to go back to Sony, I don't think they missed when they came to single player games that came out this generation. I don't think there was a single miss from any of the games.
I'm trying to think. Is there one?
No,
I can't think of one. I mean, you got to think about it.
Human, and
even though some people, for some reason,
the Order 1886,
they not God of War. I don't know why, but
one person is because it wasn't a particular actor, and because I guess the other guy is gay that's doing it.
Hey man, leave TC alone, man. TC all right, man.
No, it's not TC that's gay. It's the other guy. The guy's doing it now.
Well, TC is gay too. You do know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, TC Card from Living Single. Yeah, he's gay for real.
Well, tell that other person, because the other person doesn't know that either.
TC Carson's gay. Yeah.
The one Mr. Ham said Red Dead Redemption 2. I was just about to say that one.
Yeah, that's another good one. Killzone, Shadowfall is highly underrated. Code Vein is another one. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro.
I think Killzone was their only miss.
Really? Shadowfall wasn't that bad?
I didn't really like Shadowfall.
I will say this. I will say this. It doesn't compare to the Killzone 2 or 3. I will admit that, but graphically, that game still looks really good. I can understand that. That'd probably be the only drop was Killzone. But the game still looks good. It looks really good today.
I'm gonna say Rise Son of Rome is a miss.
Really? Oh, yeah, you wasn't a fan of it though.
Well, here's why. Rise Son of Rome was kind of like a precursor to the rest of this generation. Great graphics, lack of depth in gameplay.
I will say gameplay is lacking, but I did love the story. I love the story though.
It was so repetitive. I'm like,
the gameplay was very competitive. Very repetitive. Yes.
If there was some variety to the missions, I would have been all in, because graphically, like I said, it was pretty good. And honestly, the gameplay mechanics weren't bad, but it was so repetitive. There was no depth to it. So that was my issue.
I actually have a question. What games this generation challenged a lot of people's dexterity in gaming?
Code Vein.
Cuphead.
Cuphead was another one, yes.
Cuphead was a good one.
Uncharted on Crushing. I still haven't beat that game. I beat it on hard, but I haven't beat it on Crushing. I need to go back and do it.
Limbo.
Yeah, you was talking about that game, man.
Yeah.
Limbo and the other one, Inside, I think it was called.
The
last Crash that came out. Honestly, a lot of people
I haven't played that
Crash. Well, not the most recent one, but I should say the one before that.
Pooh about to get slapped.
What'd he say?
He said Gears of War was a hard miss with 4 and 5. 5 was the shit, bro. You tripping?
I haven't played 5 yet.
I streamed that entire game. That game was great, bro.
Really? I gotta go back and watch.
See, I'm more intrigued with Gears' story. I actually stopped after 2.
And I can understand why people stopped
at 3, and it was
Yeah, I can understand why people stopped at 2, because 2 was really good, but 5, I actually enjoyed 5 a lot. I enjoyed 5 a lot.
MK11 is a plus.
Yes, absolutely. That one and the first one before that.
Yeah,
both of the MKs were good. I agree.
A miss. Oh God, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Get that shit out of here.
That was a miss. That was a
gameplay wise, it was impeccable, but that fucking character list was an abomination.
But that just goes just like how Street Fighter 5 was. I mean, the fighting was amazing, but the character list was terrible. Now the character list is on point, but in the beginning the character list was horrible.
Yeah, man.
It was horrible. Like they didn't have Sagat, they didn't have a couple other people that was classic.
They put Akuma in,
they put him in, but at the beginning they didn't have all those guys. And like now, you get it now. I mean, Street Fighter 5 is exactly what it's supposed to be, but in the beginning it was horrible.
Injustice Plus.
I didn't have Injustice.
I followed the story for Injustice. I like both storylines.
Really good.
Mr. Ham says Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. The epitome of lighting effects on display. I need to buy that game.
I only watched, but I agree.
I need to buy that game. That's one, because I already said I was going to try to get all the only on PlayStation games, and I need to continue to go ahead and get those. And I recently I bought it again, the Uncharted collection. I bought that again because I need to get the platinum in all 3 of those. I mean, I already beat all 3 of them on Crushing, so all I need to do is go back and get all the knickknacks to get the platinum. So I'll probably stream that, getting the platinum on all 3. But as far as I mean, as far as that game, Days Gone is another one I need to get. And there's another thing. G-Rob is right. Street Fighter 5 did not have an arcade mode to begin with. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Now,
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask y'all, Last of Us 2, what are you giving it? Up or down?
Up. I'm absolutely giving that game an up. I still don't think it's better than the first one, but that game was great. I think the game was great. I'm saying it was, and I still haven't finished it yet.
I was pulled in by the story. As I was playing it. It was a grind fest. Yeah, I'm like, I almost didn't finish it because it was dragging. But if you were really on it, you figured out the story well before the game ended. Like, there were some scenes that I was able to predict what's going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah, I definitely love the story, and I definitely like the result. I was satisfied by it.
PUBG on consoles, I'd say, is a plus.
It wasn't bad on PC. It's not bad on PC either.
And on the other side, what was the miss? What was the other game that was the miss? And we both. I forgot the name of that game. We dropped that game. I don't even remember
it. What was it? DayZ? Not DayZ.
No, it was the other one. It lasted for a short period of time because we were waiting for PUBG. Yeah.
Shit was awful, man.
That was a miss.
That's a minus for PUBG. We had to play that bullshit.
Right.
For PUBG to come on console.
That game was.
I got a minus. I got a negative. Insurgency H1N1. Yeah. Insurgency didn't come out on consoles. Minus.
I'm straight up. I'm straight up. I'm ignoring every little bit what you just said, bro.
What?
That game is fucking amazing. Bro.
I didn't knock the gameplay. I said they said it was coming to PS4 and it didn't. I'm knocking them for it.
Right.
That's what I'm knocking them for.
I'm knocking for the gameplay. That game's fucking phenomenal. Hey, they got like 2 new DLCs just came out. I need to buy that.
But you know what was funny? VF, when I saw you was playing it, I was like, man, he mopping up everybody in here. And I was just like, he's mowing down bots.
I was
playing with bots. I want to play competitive, man, but I can't. I don't have the time to play competitive because dudes are on there. They're on there, and they know the maps and all that shit. That's one of them games you have to be on like all the time to like play competitive because they know the ins and outs of the maps. But I do play competitively every now and then, but I just can't because I have to be on that a lot.
Chris Thomas, that's a question for DJ.
Wait a minute. What did y'all think about this? Mr. Ham says Live 18 was good. NBA Live was borderline decent. I think overall, this entire generation, I give it like a 4, maybe 5. But Live 18 and 19 was okay. I still think 15 was better. What you guys think?
Live gets an L for not having injuries, in-game injuries, for pretty much the whole entire life cycle until the tail end. And
19?
Yes.
Yeah, it is like
that's a major L. I don't know who thought that was gonna get away from people's eyes.
The same people who thought that it was okay for you not to be able to edit players inside the franchise mode. Those people.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was
like, me and VF were like, yo, we want to play this game, but what the fuck? I mean,
you're not giving us a reason to play.
You trade somebody and can't change their number. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody said that, like you trade somebody with the same number, they keep the same number.
The other L was the fact that when they introduced the WNBA and the female players, they had male animations for them.
Oh yeah, what game was that? 18? Yeah,
it was 18. So yeah.
Like everybody
that back scratcher dunk with Brittany Griner, man.
That was crazy.
She can do that.
KC Classic said they dropped the ball with no roster sharing either.
Yeah, it was hard trying to keep up. And then also the other L, the fact when they strung people along about 20 and didn't provide any updates for 19 after I guess last year or whatever.
Right. I think that Twitter handle still saying that we're coming back after 20. You know,
yeah, that was like mid-July of last year.
Yeah, and there has been no activity on that Twitter feed at all since then. Spectacular Pooh says Fortnite, while it's a positive for many console reasons, is negative, causing a lot of toxicity. I think the concept of Fortnite was great for people who are just casual gamers. I will give that to them. They gave the average gamer what they wanted in a game, but you're right about everything outside of that. It was just it was terrible outside of that. Drip X, which is Javon Dillingham, said, "Don't clown me, but I wish they came out with another NBA Live." I did too, but I kind of like what they did with 19. It'd have been something to build off of. But knowing what we know now, I understand it because now we know who's there. We know why they didn't come out with the game, and we know why they're basically building up for this current generation, the PS5 and Xbox Series. So I understand it now. I wish they did, but knowing what we know now is like, okay, we get it. So I'm not really tripping on it anymore. Mr. Ham also says, don't get me wrong, Live last gen was the maximum football of basketball games. Totally agree. Live 18 is still enjoyable in spurts. 19 is as well. 15 is as well. So they had something with 15, and I don't know why they just got away from that. But I see what they did with 18 and 19, but maybe they're going to come out with something totally different with this generation coming up. So
and message to Scott OG. Let me say this. Message to Scott OG. Get rid of that weapon wheel that Live has.
Right.
Get rid of it, or find a way to limit the actions of the right analog stick while you're using it.
Chris Thomas, I don't want to forget Chris Thomas because he hasn't been here for a while. Shout out to Chris Thomas. What's up, bro? He said, "Did you guys play the new Watch Dogs? If so, what do you think?"
Okay, this is the question. Yeah. So far, Watch Dogs has been good. Let's see. I like the idea of being able to formulate a team. Those on Twitter have seen the pictures of the new members I add on. I got like 7 strong now, and it was actually interesting to come across one of my teammates while I was out and about exploring London. Like just randomly, I popped up there. I seen another teammate just crossing the street, and they tell you people become linked. Like the more people you add on to the team, the more the city becomes interlinked, and you'll see people who are either relatives, associates, even enemies of the characters that you have on the team. The overall, that's the part because I've always wondered that, because if you think about it, Grand Theft Auto was the other game that you thought you possibly could run into, Grand Theft Auto 5, that you could run into another one of your characters, but I guess it happened every so often.
It's very rare, yeah.
Yeah, but Legion, you're more likely, the more people you add, the more likely you are to run into people that are on your team. And I like the fact that, it's kind of like Nemesis Light as far as the AI, because I ran into some people that I had sent to the hospital. and they came across me, like they were literally because I had beat them up infiltrating one of the buildings. So they found me as I was just walking about. They were in their civilian clothes. It was like, what's up now? Like they approached me, pushed me from my house. I was like, what the fuck? Let's see. Oh, and then I seen who they were. I was like, oh, I fucked them up. I was trying to get into this one building. So I'm like, it's a good game graphically. I have it on PC, so it's a good game graphically, but it doesn't have a focus on a singular hero. So if that's the thing where people will hang their hat on, then that would be the only negative. But other than that, I like it so far.
Who played Days Gone in here? I that's another game that I said that it's a PS4 exclusive. I'm gonna go back and get. I need to go ahead and finish that.
Okay, so Days Gone. I don't like the fact they took you have some choices, but they don't matter like the way they advertised that they were going to. Like, obviously, a lot of people have played it by now, barring a few. So
I haven't played it, but go ahead and spoil it. I don't care.
Okay, well, spoiler alert. The first decision you come across originally was a decision that you had a choice in making. The first decision is pretty much carried out without any prompt or whatever. That was when you caught the guy, and you have a choice of whether you shoot him or your partner shoots him. And what winds up happening is that the computer decides for you. When I played it at the time, I was ready to make the decision to shoot this dude because he pissed me off. So, but the AI decided for me. So that was a big flaw in their early advertisement for Days Gone. Decisions didn't matter. As far as the other draw, which was the hordes, hordes don't play out like they did the way they showcased at E3 or whatever. So, and I've come across a couple of hordes. It's been a while. And other people on various YouTube videos, they've tried to mimic that same presentation, and zombies just come out of nowhere. There's no like organized flow where you can just continue to be chased, where someone would just veer off right and cut you off like they have intelligent AI or something like that. So it's a good game. It definitely is going to play better on next gen.
Yeah, I seen the Digital Foundry the analysis. That game runs 4K 60 easily.
Yeah, somebody was saying it looks like a completely different game.
Yeah, they say a lot of these games that are on PS4 that runs on the PS5 are completely they look completely different. A lot of people been saying that, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually interested in that. But for now, I'm gonna be sticking with the PlayStation Pro until I can get me a PS5. You know what? The more I've been thinking about, I think I'm leaning towards getting this PS5 over the Series X all of a sudden. Man, I don't know, man.
Oh, and another thing I just found this out. Well, it was known that the PlayStation 5 controller could be played on certain other aspects, but now we're hearing that Steam is in a beta mode of getting the PS5 compatible.
I can believe that.
So
they did that with the PS4. I remember that.
So that's what they're doing right now. But right now they don't have obviously all the features. They're gonna eventually make all the features available for.
Dripback asked a question about what it's Watch Dogs. He said, "So can you play as anyone in the game on Watch Dogs?"
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He was asking that.
You have to recruit them and do whatever mission to, and also the one thing that was a negative about like when you recruit people, you have your team. When they die, there's really no impact until after you come across somebody and they'll read that person's wife or husband or whatever died in the name of fighting for DedSec. That's when the effect hits you. But you lose somebody, it's treated like a number. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see. This is another game that we didn't talk about. Modern Warfare, COD Modern Warfare. That's another game I streamed. I was happily impressed with that game. That game was fun. If you guys want to go in the playlist, I have Gears 5 and Modern Warfare that I streamed on this channel. I enjoyed it. I mean, remember that part I was on the Juggernaut? I kept dying on that. That was rough, but
you were playing on a higher difficulty. So
yeah, I was playing the second to the hardest. I was playing on the second to the hardest difficulty. But yeah, I enjoyed that game. Matter of fact, that's another one. That's another game I need to buy again. You know, there are certain games that you can see behind me. There are certain games that I like that I would like to keep, and just to go back and play whenever. That's one of them. That game gave me as much satisfaction as the first Modern Warfare that came out, Call of Duty 4. And I mean, they're obviously two different games, but it gave me that type of satisfaction, and I was highly impressed with that. Mr. Ham asked, "Wild VF Quick Shift, did you find Series X yet?"
I'm not looking for Series
X. Yeah, I don't think he was, but
it was actually the Series S initially. But then I was like, you know what? Nah, that's okay. I'll just focus all my efforts on the PS5.
The only reason why I said I'm gonna probably switch to the PS5 first, and this is subject to change because I'm at this point now. Whichever one I can get first, I'm getting. If one comes up like, okay, the Series X is available, but the PS5 is not, I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna get it because it's just gonna be whatever comes first. But first, I was adamant. I was like, PS5, I'll just wait. I'll wait till tax time to get it or whatever. I'll wait till Gran Turismo 7 come out. But whatever comes first, I'm going to get at this point because of what Digital Foundry showed with the backwards compatibility. I love my PS4 Pro. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I play it at 1080p. I get the 60 frames. But with the PS5, if I can get those 60 frames at 4K on the same PS4 games. I mean, at that point, I'm gonna get that to play my PS4 games and get the PS5 stuff. So, I was on board, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna jump on that. I'm really definitely going to jump on that.
Oh, let me answer Griffex's question. He asked about the Xbox.
What's the question?
Well, he just asked how it was, the Xbox.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It runs quiet. Load times are pretty much non-existent, and graphics are amazing. That's about the only thing I can say. All positive. So.
Yeah. I mean, for both of these consoles, the graphics are great on both. I mean, that's one thing I will say. I still think that Series X is still more powerful, but the PS5 is not slouching at all at what they can do. And I'm actually surprised at that because I thought it was going to be like the other way around. I know there's a few people saying that it doesn't feel next gen or whatever. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I can understand it because the graphics are just what you make it. And I understand a lot of people say what they want about the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. They've done a really good job in the graphical area. So it's not the ceiling. I ain't gonna say the ceiling is there, but I can see where people could say that the ceiling is a little bit, closer to your head than you think it'll be. Because like now it's more like, all right, what else graphically they could pull off? 2K21, the textures are just there. I mean, it looks great, so I don't know.
I just saw a tweet from Clint Oldenburg. I think Live King have reacted to it. Bit of a big day tomorrow. Kind of excited. So that's adding more.
Are you resigning? Because that'd be the only big day. That'd be the only big day I care about coming from Clint Oldenburg, clown ass.
You tripping, man? No, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm dying on that hill, man. I think the game is going to be all right. I think the game is going to be pretty good.
I wonder if now with him saying that, I wonder if it's going to be more than just that article.
Rainbow Six is dope. G-Rob, I agree. Rainbow Six is dope. Insurgency is dope. Squad is dope. I need to start playing Squad. I'll be seeing a lot of people playing Squad, but that game is just too intense. It is too much to get into. 100 on 100 or something like that. It's way too big.
Let me go back on Rainbow Six a little bit. I like the fact that they differentiated all the different materials that you could shoot through, and the different strategies. Just the destructible environment within a claustrophobic type
area.
Yeah. That I think that was awesome. I didn't really get into all the multiplayer, but when it came down to like the tutorials that you can actually play out, man, I'm like, you got paranoid of the guy that would come in and blow himself up. You always would listen. Oh, also it took advantage of the headphones, the 3D sound.
Right.
You literally were paying attention to what footsteps, people talking.
There was grenade drops.
Yes.
The hit detection in that game, and the bro, you could even do the missions like going and getting a hostage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were all like super sim. I mean, I think that game was a bit too sim for some people.
Well,
I mean, that's the problem. That's kind of the problem with Insurgency in the Squad. A lot of people say that as well. Real quick, everybody, before we keep going, Preliminary Sports told me on my other channel that he starts his job at Amazon. Well, he started his new job, so he's gonna have to after Thursday. He said, "You guys, he won't be able to tune in as much." Hey, we understand. That's why we have the game. That's why we have the podcast on these other platforms where you can download or you can just listen to us later. It's all good. Congratulations, man. I hope everything is great. He said you guys have been a true blessing. Hey, man, that is awesome, man. We really appreciate it.
Shout out. Oh, also, I got a question for him. Are you going to be working at the one in Virginia?
Why you say it like that? Sounds like it's a bad connotation. Like,
no, because they just opened up. They opened up the headquarters.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, man, but that's great, man. And remember what I said, man. Learn everything that you can, bro. Don't take nothing as a negative, bro. Everything that you can everything that you can learn it. Try to
and if you are in Virginia, don't fuck around and get fired trying to sneak DJ at PS5.
I look at it like this: just help them help me make money because I have stock in Amazon. That's all I gotta say.
I agree. Let's see, but shout out to that man. He's the one in Atlanta, Maryland. That's the one he's at.
Oh, he's closer then. Jeez.
All right, let's see. Let's talk about this real quick.
I got cousins in Atlanta.
Ghost Recon a negative.
The second one.
Come on now. I'm about to say DJ was going to catch on to that because that breakout game was fucking
Breakpoint.
I haven't touched Breakpoint other than creating my character.
Let me tell you something. This Xbox that I got, the guy that gave it to me, that game is on this hard drive. So I may stream it for kicks and giggles. That game is horrible. Hey, remember that time we first tried to get the
really
first
that bad?
Remember when we looked at the initial part of that game, and my man was streaming it on Twitch, and dude was out there by himself, and then all of us, he was just flying a helicopter, and all of a sudden the helicopter started smoking.
Fucking grass simulator.
And here's the bad part.
And then when he got out, he thought he was gonna start shooting somebody like nobody was out there.
But here's the bad part about it. Even with the updates, the added AI teammates, the game wasn't built for it. That's where they went wrong, because now you got AI teammates with these drones that randomly pop up that you gotta take cover for. Your teammates can't take cover in time. You got poor AI still in that game.
Bro,
so we go back to Wildlands.
For the hell of it, bro.
Wildlands was the better game.
Yeah, Wildlands was a good one. But yeah, I think I might stream that just for kicks and giggles because that game is like super cheap, bro.
I think I actually have a little bit, kind of a story. It's a short story, but I think me and Smitty were playing. No, Bills. We were playing.
Yeah, it was me. I was gonna say,
and when you joined, what was it? You were someplace on a completely different side of the map. I had to drive all the way to where you were at because you were being you got ambushed. So I had to
bitch ass militia.
And the funny thing is, I think you held out. By the time I got there, I was able to wipe the rest of them out.
Dude, they had a whole So for those of y'all that don't play Wildlands.
Thank God.
So don't do that.
Yeah, Wildlands better game.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about Breakpoint. My bad. I thought you were talking about Breakpoint. I'm sorry.
No, hell no.
I'm sorry. I'll take the L on that. I thought you were talking about Breakpoint. My bad.
Yeah.
What were they called, DJ? What were they called?
Unidad.
Yeah. These motherfuckers had a whole part of the city just shut down. Just shut the fuck down. I pulled up in there to do a mission, and I technically didn't have to go through there, but I was like, yo, what's over here?
Well, that's the first one. That's the first one. You know you about to get killed.
Exactly. I saw the alert go up on the screen. I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Man, they had helicopters up there. They had tanks driving through the city.
You know what?
Like, DJ, bro, you got to come get me.
Even in South America, they knew your house was black.
Bro, I was pinned down. In like some fucking little behind some house somewhere where they couldn't get to me because it was literally one way in and one way out.
Mm-hmm.
Just picking them off, waiting for DJ to come around, and we finally got rid of all of them. But that I was sweating that shit out, man.
Yo, I arrived to the scene. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Hey, whenever you play a game, yo, whenever you play a game and you hear, you like, "Hey, where did this go?" 9 times out of 10, you're gonna die, bro. 9 times out of 10, when you say that, you're like, "All right, well, I might well go and get ready." Every time, that never fails in any game that I've ever played. When you say that, those words, like, wait, where did this go?
It's never good.
It's never good. Never. I don't care what game you playing. Mario, Sonic. You could be playing goddamn Days Gone or Gone Days or whatever. when you say that line, you might always say, you know what? I better go ahead and die. You already know what time it is. It's crazy, bro. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm trying to think what was the absolute worst game this generation, honestly?
Well, I had a story. Now, this is a bias, but I'm sorry. Hard Life was fucking horrible. Now, here's a story. Me and VF, we played Hardline for about 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
In that game, you talk about just trying to find some fun because the maps were fucking terrible.
And it didn't help with the spawn mechanism. You spawn like right in front of people.
Oh my god. Bro,
you literally spawned in front of the enemy, bro. Literally.
It was terrible. There was one time me and VF played, was it Hotwire?
Yeah, I think it was Hotwire.
Bro. When I tell you we kept blowing ourselves up
all the time. It was terrible. The only part of that game was fun is when we actually had rocket launchers riding around in the cars.
Literally riding around in cars, shooting at people, and we'd end up somehow blowing ourselves up. That was the only fun in the fucking game. That game was a I'm picking Battlefield Hardline. I'm sticking with that. Fuck that.
Was the worst game of the generation?
That game was.
I will say,
especially considering the fact it was under the Battlefield.
Yeah,
tag. Yeah.
It could have been perceived as a better game if it wasn't a Battlefield game. Because I honestly, I genuinely liked the campaign. The campaign was fun, but the fact that game was a Battlefield game, they dropped the ball on that. DJ, you got what about you? Worst game overall?
Let me see.
Shit, based on how y'all talking, is fucking Breakpoint.
Breakpoint was man. I didn't even play that game, bro.
Breakpoint's okay, but I'm looking at Battlefield 5 though.
Okay,
I'm looking at Battlefield 5 because of what they twisted reality to make this game. This guy, the developer, he made the game thinking about his daughter.
Right, yeah.
Like,
he did.
That girl wasn't in World War II. Like, what did she have to do with the story of World War II? You had no real story like you had in Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, you had compelling stories, even though they were played out like everyone knows now these days, these single player games with the multiplayer add-ons are the single player portion is like a tutorial.
Right.
But these were compelling tutorials, campaign, single player missions in Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 had nothing of the sort. They were no kidding bare bones tutorials, and you had the nerve to have a practice arena to do all that. Okay, right. So they twisted this story of World War II. There was like women, bionic women, and like black men were on the German squad, and it was just all over the place. And then on top of that, they advertised these characters that you can't get unless you use your real money. So that's a lie. Right. The aiming detection, the hit detection was good, but the weapons sucked. Destructible environment, good. The fact that you couldn't really find anybody, they would be hidden. They were so camouflaged in the environment, they literally had to patch in highlights of people so you could see better. And I'm just like, that's just poor.
I remember that. Design. Yeah, I remember
that. They didn't fix anything in time. They lost player bases, and then they had a roadmap that they didn't even follow to try to fix the game.
I mean, I think the problem with that, they got a lot of pressure from people that played online, and they got a lot of pressure for them to change things in the game to help the online game, like the hit detection. I think it was something like the time to kill was patched. All that, the headshots some headshots wasn't connecting. It was terrible.
The funny thing was the time to kill was perfect when it launched.
Yeah, it did. It was
like, it's dying too fast. I'm like, you probably playing Call of Duty and died that fast, wasn't complaining then. So it just didn't make sense to me to complain about the time to kill. And then the time they made it too much, where it took too long to kill somebody. You were getting people like Westy and another guy that were primarily like just disappointed overall in how
every time something changed, they had something to say. Yeah,
right. And then the developer who wound up getting let go, fired or whatever, that same person that was talking about I made the game thinking about my daughter was telling people, well, if you don't like the direction of the game, don't buy it. I was like,
yeah, he did say that.
and work for EA ever in your life.
and you wonder why the Xbox One had a bad rap, because that dude kind of said the same thing. Buy 360, like what? Like what are you doing? Like nah. G-Rod asked about, he said hard rain, but he meant heavy rain.
That's why that shit had me crying. He
said,
did
y'all like all right? It's like Heavy Rain was a PS3 game. Yes, it wasn't a last generation game, but I like the game. I completed that game on PS3. That game has 4 different endings. I only managed to do 2. But
I never beat it.
Yeah, it has 4 different endings, and I only did manage to do 2. I do have the PS4 version in my library because I think it was like some type of bundle with that. And what was the other game that was like Beyond Two Souls or something like that?
Yeah, I wound up getting them for free.
So. Yeah, I got them for free too. So I got them in my my library. But that's another game I wouldn't mind streaming one day, because that game is actually pretty cool. It was very innovative with what they did, and I'm surprised. I'm not surprised this, because Detroit Become Human was made by the same people. So never mind all that. But yeah, I love the game, but it wasn't this generation game. It was PS3. Speaking of PS3, Ms. Ham said last gen overall can be categorized with a few good standout points. Spider-Man, we didn't talk about that. RDR2, God of War, it won't be as memorable as an Xbox 360 PS3. I agree. PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, if y'all want to put that in there, was a really good generation in my opinion overall, especially the last 2 years, because around that time they didn't have like a lot of broken games come out, like games that needed like ridiculous amount of patches day one, or games that just broken out. We could talk about Madden needing this patch or that, but for the most part, a lot of the games came out and they were actually finished and they were actually done right. But I think the 360 PS3 era, you just had game after game after game, and then the online was just much more fun because you had the online setup was different, especially on the Xbox 360. The online was just set up differently. So I agree. The 360 PS3 era was a little bit more memorable in my opinion.
Well, another reason it was memorable was custom soundtracks.
Yep, that was another one. Yep, custom soundtracks was great. I know G-Rob can attest to this. Destiny 2 is a positive. G-Rob still plays Destiny 2 to this day. I was looking on my Steam for the past couple of days, and he put it in the Discord. Hey, if y'all haven't already, go join the Discord, man. We be talking about stuff, and Pooh set up a new thread in the Discord and got roasted. It's all good.
Fuck around and got roasted.
Yeah, he came up with his own thread, and it was like, psst. And he got laid out, bro. It's like, yo,
damn Chitlin's ass pizza. He posted.
Yakuza is great too. Yes, absolutely. Yakuza was great even on the PlayStation 2, but we're not going to talk about that. Absolutely a fantastic series. I highly recommend you get all of them if you can. Chris Thomas says he played. G-Rod said yes, Destiny 2 is a positive. He stayed on it since part 1. Man, you're a diehard, bro. And Chris Thomas says I played Destiny 2 as well. I played Destiny 1. I played a little bit when it first came out on the PS4. I got it through GameFly when it first came out. And me and Kid, shout out to Kid, wherever he is. We played it for a little while. It was fun. It's just a game that never stuck with me. I think it's because because I went on to go play Battlefield on Battlefield 4. I just never went back to it.
I'll tell you my experience with Destiny. I played the beta, and they say you had to get to a level 8 to play online. And by the time I got to a level 8, I didn't want to fucking play anymore.
Oh man,
that was my extent. That was my level of. That was my extent of playing Destiny. I was like, shit ain't that.
You know what?
I'm at level 8. I'm good.
To me, Destiny 1 definitely got an L because they changed too much, and when they added these DLC, they also took away stuff that was a part of the $60 portion of the game that people pay for.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I will say that they came a long way though, because Destiny was like they were screwing consumers over at first, and I will give them props because they did come a long way because it was bad at first.
They had content locked on the disc.
Yeah,
that people was able to access. Yeah, I know, right? The actor that they changed out, that was the little drone. They changed him out because he was too monotone. I was like, he's a robot. What the fuck? Players are worried about a monotone robot. I'm like, it's a robot. It's mechanical.
But nah, man, I'm like I said, I was a big fan of it at first, but I just never got into it. Shout out to let's see, Quaface, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Always good to see you. Chris Thomas says, DJ, I'm gonna have to change my Twitch logo because of you. Hey man, DJ got that nice Twitch logo. Hey man, y'all need to get down, man. I might have to do the same thing. Nice looking Twitch avatar.
Pooh already did it with his.
Yeah,
now he got merch. Right. He's like taking off because I don't have the creative flow. I just have that logo. I don't even know if I'm gonna do a merch store or anything, but I'm just glad I'm able to inspire people to do more.
Yeah, I seen the shirt that he had, man. That was pretty dope, man. Oh, speaking of that, man, I got some stuff coming out probably by the end of the week. Maybe it'll probably be around Thanksgiving, a little bit after Thanksgiving, where I'm gonna have something for the guys on Patreon. You guys who want to continue to support on Patreon. I haven't put out many perks on there, but I got a few in the making. So you guys will get something really soon as far as merch and other type of things. They're all coming you guys' way. So appreciate the support. You guys have been helping. Not only that, I'm in the process of making this official, like as far as the name, the podcast. I mean, it's official, but I'm like actually putting some weight behind it to where I can really take off on this. And the guys on Patreon and anybody who support that, all that goes into that. Outside of getting these guys some compensation as well, because these guys make the podcast go as well. But I'm in the process of making this like really have some real weight to it, because it's one thing to get on these YouTube airwaves and just talk and try to get in touch with I don't think I should say that. Fuck it. Get in touch with developers and try to get in touch with people that are in the industry. But look, we're trying to make this thing a movement where we get in touch with everybody. So like I got plans for this thing to be up here like on iHeartRadio and up here with Stitcher, and I'm not talking about just putting it on there. I want us to be up there, like when you open the app to iHeart or Stitcher or any other one. I want us to be like one of the top 20 that you see as soon as you open the app. You don't have to even search for us. But I got those things in the work. So just be on the lookout. All I ask you guys is continue to support, and we're going to get it there to where this could be bigger than us just chatting and hoping games get better.
Man, I'm seeing why Pooh got roasted. I'm looking at this fork in one of these pictures. What food did that to that fork? That fork is like it's like going this way.
Hey, you guys go to Discord and just check that out, man. It's a time in the food section right now. Shout out to Pooh with his appetite. AB, not AB, but G-Rob said AB can't get right. Seeing him, he was in the news earlier. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with football related, but he has to keep his name out of the line. Like this whole COVID thing kept him low key. That was great. But soon as you come back, it's like, yo, your name's out there again. Chill, bro. Just play ball, because people don't want to have those remnants of your name again. Just chill.
Do you stick that fork in an electric outlet?
No, he stuck that.
No, he's still alive.
Burnt, like chitlin or whatever.
Bro, hey, look what G-Rob put.
What's that pizza?
Lord Jesus.
Was somebody trying to be a gourmet chef with this one? It's
Chris
like
Thomas says, me and DJ have the same exact logo. I mean, the same looking color palette. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's like, some type of yellow noodles. What's that on top? Is that a
Bills?
Frog?
Bills, before we get into Drew Brees, tell everybody what's going on with NBA 2K21.
What the fuck is this?
NBA 2K21. Well,
oh boy.
I don't know how to say this, but Czar, you got some splaining to do, bitch.
Wow. I was like, fuck the police. And they were putting it on the ground.
Okay, I'm going to say, I'm over here. All right. So I'm just going to chill over here.
I recall him on his little video and blog taking veiled shots at our guy, Scott OG, because Scott OG has been in charge of the defensive side of the basketball for the better part of 5 years
behind the logo.
See, I know, right? but yeah, so Seattle G's been in charge of the defensive side of 2K for what? The better part of 5 years, right? 6 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because he left after right when Live 15 was coming out, and yeah, that's about right.
So say you doing drive-bys now.
Oh nah, this is like pulling up to his face like smoke on sight type shit. So no, it's not. Drive-by and then driving away. So my thing is he had all that shit to talk about how much better they're doing things now, and you know it's gonna be so much improved on next gen. And in the game with Czar's work, they don't know how to hedge a screen. They don't know how to trap a screen. They don't know how to do a catch hedge on the screen. They don't know how to do anything as far as defending a screen. I mean, I really don't get it. Like, you know, he used to be one of the people in the community that was just doing his videos the way Apex does his videos and the way other people do their videos in the basketball community, whether it's Obi-Wan Watson or whoever. Shout out to Obi-Wan Watson. And then all of a sudden 2K hired him and he got this like big head. Like he thought he made it. And yeah, you got your freelance sets in the game, but the defensive side of the ball is shitty when it comes to pick and roll. And this is all due to you because you're taking all the credit for it, right, Czar? I mean, this is your work, right? This is what you said in the blog, right? You were talking about how great everything is, right?
Look at the screen.
I mean, here's my thing, right? So they always say, well, reach out to the devs and you should give solutions when you're criticizing something. I had a whole stream, 52, and DJ is my witness and everybody else that was there. 52 minutes of shitty pick and rolls. This was not a one-time thing. And you know what's funny about this is he had the nerve when it happened to somebody else on Twitter that tagged him in it. He had the nerve to sit there and try to validate it and say, oh, well, based on Christian Wood's positioning, it could have been better, but it was going to be a basket either way. Yeah, no shit. If you slide out of the fucking way, it's going to be a basket. I would think that's how it fucking works. I would think that's how it works. If a guy is trying to hedge a screen and the dribbler comes around and you move the fuck out of the way, yeah, I would think that's what that is. I would think that's a fucking.
This is what it looked like.
As soon as he turned the corner, this dude literally moved out of the way like he was shaving points. Motherfuckers are shaving points in 2K. It's the most sim game ever. So that's my thing, Czar. And then like, you know, you want to act like you don't see my tweets when you know you do. And I started out trying to be cordial, if you can call it that. And I just basically asked what you saw in this video that looks like pick and roll defense. And you didn't respond. So then the very next play, I had another one and I posted that one. And then I did a stream and people tagged you in it. So it's like, yeah, you want to send people to 2K support when they have a glitch in the game, but you're not supporting 2K by fixing the fucking pick and roll defense. So that's my thing. Before you want to bash somebody who worked in your position before you and put the foundation in for all of these shit, all of these gameplay mechanics that you broke, all the hedges that you broke, all the double teams and all that shit that you went and broke this year, maybe you should shut the fuck up and fix your game. That's all I'm going to say. I'm done with it. I don't have to explain what happened in the pick and roll. Y'all can go on my Twitter page. It's self-explanatory. The hedge man moves out of the way and basically allows you to just drive to the basket.
Oh, wow.
Now,
I saw a little bit of that when you was doing it too. I was like, that's terrible.
It's like, and the thing is, it happens on rookie, it happens on pro, it happens on all-star, superstar, Hall of Fame, and I'm talking default, not slider adjustments. Literally, just go in a scrimmage, switch it to any of those difficulty levels, and you will see that happen on a consistent basis, regardless of who the ball handler is that is, you know, driving to the basket. And for me, it's game breaking because the game is so great, except for that. And because pick and roll is such a staple in today's NBA, it's difficult to play the game when you have such a fatal flaw to that. I mean, me and DJ were talking about DJ turned on 2K21 Current Gen yesterday and was praising how the pick and roll defense. And I know for a fact that the pick and roll was amazing in 2K21 Current Gen because I was playing it just a couple weeks ago. So I know that's not what it's supposed to look like. So that's my thing, bro. It's like you want to brag. I mean, right now you're looking like the nigga that comes to the gym with all the equipment, dressed up like LeBron. You got LeBron's on, and then you get on the court and you're shooting fucking air balls.
No, he hitting the rim. He ain't hitting the rim. He ain't hitting the rim at all.
In his mind, he's hitting the rim.
So that's my
in
thing.
Reality,
yeah. And he's got this grandfathered in clout because everybody remembers Mr. Fake Ass Questlove's emblem when the video would come on. It's Czar with the fake voice, and we're gonna play basketball, not video games. Motherfucker, I'm trying to play basketball on a video game, and you're not putting basketball in your video game. So fix the fucking game. I'm done. I have nothing else to say. If y'all want to see the videos, you can go to my Twitter page. You can go to my Twitch. You can see the replay of it. I'm done.
The Twitch is in the description, so you guys, it's all there. So let's not play any games like y'all don't know what time it is.
Nice, quick and easy. That's it, bro. I don't have anything else to say.
And basically, like my view from what I saw watching Bill's stream and also watching the videos and just understanding basketball as a whole, that's a staple that is taught when you're young, when you're playing in the youth leagues. And it's one of those things that you look at how 2K was developed, 2K14 to 2K15. It was a lot of offensive powerhouses or offensive gameplay just going on. And it was the job of Scott OG. And he mentions it in these past blogs that it was my job to aim for stopping the cheese, one, online, and two, stopping players from scoring like 100 and whatever points individually. And he was able to do that. And then now we get to next gen, and I did see a next gen player score 163 points. I wonder how they was able to do that. So that's all I had to say.
And the thing about it is, like, once again, it's not even a transition from 2K20 to 2K21. It's literally current gen, which I'm sorry, I can't prove, but Scott OG probably worked on current gen. And clearly, Czar, you were in charge of next gen. So where's the disconnect here, buddy? Because there's clearly a disconnect. All your freelance sets work, right? What your bread and butter is, all your freelance sets, and you want to do videos about that. Like I said, you want to be the fake, Roots drummer. You want to be, here we go, my freelance sets, and they work and they're great. And then we look at the defensive side, what you were bragging so much about, and clearly you don't know shit about it because you broke it down on Twitter to the guy and you said either way it's gonna be a bucket. Well, how you figure? All he had to do was step in his way and make him make a decision. Either you're gonna dish it to the cutter that's pulling down the paint or pulling down the baseline, or you're gonna have to shoot a floater. Either way, there was a way that Christian Wood could have slid into position and forced him to make a decision, but he didn't. So I mean, go ahead.
And the main thing that I saw from it was that it was attached to screener issue. Like that was as simple as it was, because that's where he was going. He was trying to stop the screener. So like you got a case like Giannis. Giannis is not likely going to take a jump shot. So why is they moving with him? Like
exactly.
So yeah, it's
and if you can't fix it, which you're clearly not willing to, because we saw on Twitter that you were sitting there defending it, then give us the tools to do the defensive settings in the fucking create a roster section so we can fix it and turn it off for every team. Because when I went to my league, and I told DJ this. I was on the phone when I did it. I went to my league. I did a user-controlled 30-team my league. I went and turned it off for the Bucks and the Sixers, who play opening night. And guess what? Yeah, the pick and roll defense was still shitty because it's your work, but at least they weren't staying attached to the big man. That wasn't happening. Yeah, they still weren't playing great defense, but they weren't staying attached to the big man. That's clearly what it is. And he doesn't want to admit it because he doesn't like criticism. Well, guess what, James Harden? You're going to get some fucking criticism.
Wow.
All right? You're going to get some fucking
Now, why you had to do that, man? Call that man James Harden.
I wish 2K would trade his ass. Trade him to Bungie or Ubisoft or somewhere else. Trade his ass away. I'm done. I'm done, bro. For real this time, I'm done.
Man, we're not about to do Ubisoft like that. We're not gonna do Ubisoft.
I don't have anything else to say. I'm
double
annoyed.
Step back included.
I bought this fucking game. The game was impeccable. An update comes out, and all of a sudden, this issue is way more prevalent. There's no slider to fix it. There's no roster to fix it. There's nothing to fix it except him. So. It's on you, Czar. It's on you. And you know what the funny part is gonna be? Let the game make it to this state when more people have next gen consoles, and then see what they say about it. Let somebody lose a game online with that bullshit.
And you know, there was one thing that I noticed when Bills tweeted out the Steph Curry play, the defense moonwalking. I was sitting there like, I saw this in the early trailers, but everybody was trying to give, not everybody trying to give me fits about it, but everybody was like trying to say, "Oh no, that's not like." And I was just like, "Nah, that's sliding." And when Bills put out that clip, it was like it was a great foot planting by Curry. His steps were accounted for, but the defender was MJ. Michael Jackson, not Michael Jordan on that playing defense. So yeah,
Obi-Wan Watson. I know you're a My Player guy, right? So when you play My Player, you're gonna see that shit, and it's gonna immediately stick out to you. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" You're gonna run a pick and roll, and you're gonna see the computer do that, and you're gonna be like, "Are you dead ass? This is how it's gonna be every time." Yes, it is.
Well, I tell you what. Also, what's going on with 2K for next gen? People are already complaining about being banned. I know they're being banned because they're taking advantage of stuff that 2K left wide open to be able to.
Yeah, didn't they like mess up the VC or something? And
and they're banning, and they're not banning the players so you can make another account. They're banning the console that you're doing it from.
Oh
wow,
yeah.
Really?
So, and then I think the other thing is the servers are still shit.
Wow.
So now you have more. See, and it's funny because one of the mayors, Shakedown, he's the one that coined the term hamster wheel servers.
Well, I mean, 2K and the servers. I mean, we always knew that was a problem. That's nothing new.
Yeah, but you don't hear him talking about it anymore. It's been years since he talked about them servers.
So, Mr. Hamster, games should follow suit with what NHL do with their updates instead of making it mandatory to download the latest version. Well, here's the thing, right? So, another thing is, they're not. So 2K is not doing patches per se. They're doing the update that sends you back to the main menu now. That's what they've been doing, and that's serving as a patch. So you're not really triggered to patch it to download like a physical patch, like a physical update. It's like something that when you load the game, it's kind of like how Call of Duty does it, essentially.
Right.
So there's no way around it. And like I said, DJ kind of hit me to this. It was like, I wasn't really seeing this like 3 days ago nearly as much as I'm seeing it now. Now it's like terrible. I mean, like I said, you can watch the stream yesterday. Everything is right in front of you. I showed you what difficulty setting I was on. There was nothing to hide. They need to fix it, man, because at this point, I'm looking for another game to play, another next gen game besides.
Hey, man, hey, that Madden though. That Madden.
Well, I got 2 weeks to wait, so we'll see what they say tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 weeks to wait for the gameplay, but less than 12 hours or less than several hours.
Yeah.
I'm very interested, and apparently, good old practice team Clint is going to release some information tomorrow too. So, I mean, he said it's a big day tomorrow, so maybe he got signed to a practice team. I don't fucking know.
Who's got signed to a practice team? Who are you talking about signed to a practice team? Practicing what? Man, you better stop playing. Then practicing what?
Safe sex.
Hey, man.
Hey, if that's the case, it might not be a big day.
No,
it might not be a big day.
Oh my! Yo, that's wild. Safe sex. That's fucking. That's man, great right there.
I'm not messing with y'all, man. Y'all need to stop. Man.
Hey, man.
What I'm about to say? Let's talk about Drew Brees before we close it out. Drew Brees suffered a I think he had like 4 or 5 broken ribs and a punctured lung. He's 41 years old. There's been talks about he may not play again. What do you guys think? You think he's gonna come back? Maybe try to come back later on in the season if everything's good, or he's just gonna hang it up?
I have no stake in Drew Brees, so I wouldn't be mad if he just dropped it. Just let it go. He's already been. It's funny because I don't know if you guys thought about this. He already went through one potential career-ending injury early in his career. Now he has another. So,
yeah. Bills, what do you think?
Well, at least you can't choke another playoff game away, no?
Wow, he can just choke on his dinner while he's sitting at home in retirement.
well, I guess
wait a minute.
He can technically play Madden and choke away another game.
Wow.
It'd kind of be like their voodoo doll for playoff time, right? Drew Brees he lost by 30 in Madden, so
I'll tell you what, he wouldn't be able to throw a fit.
Well, I mean, he barely can damn breathe. He throw a fit, he might not make it. Bro. He might need to hold. He might need to slow down a little bit.
The last fit he threw, a lot of the black players had to address him.
I was gonna say Drew Brees' arm is so bad that motherfucker tried to throw a fit, end up being in a good mood. He
might need to fall back a little bit with something he's trying to do.
Yeah, he tried to throw that fit, and that got picked off by the black players.
Oh, this motherfucker's career is ending the same way Trump's is gonna end, out kicking and screaming.
Exactly.
Well, hate to see it.
Well, what can you do? Let's talk
about this NBA trades that are going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm glad you said that. Yeah,
man. Like, my thing that's crazy about this really is that it seems like a lot of the teams that should be trying to get better aren't trying to get better, and the teams that don't really need to get much better are like making these drastic moves. I mean, you got Brooklyn trying to trade for Harden, which it can either be the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever. It's really that simple. It's like one or the other. There were rumors that Kyrie didn't want Harden there, but apparently those are false. So that's interesting. And then Boston apparently and Kemba Walker.
They're talking about him going to. They're talking about him coming to Chicago. I was like, what?
I mean, they don't know if Hayward's going to sign his extension, but the way they have tried to boot him out of town a couple times now, the fans at least, I wouldn't really blame them. LA.
Yeah, because they were talking about Hayward going to Atlanta. I was like, what? There's some weird stuff going on. What about the John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade? Y'all heard about that?
I heard about that.
What do you think about that, DJ?
No, because John Wall will make players better around him, and we need that in DC because we're building around Beal. Westbrook does not make anybody around him better. He makes himself better. I'm like, he's a great player, but I'm not giving up Wall for a guy that is going to not make Beal better.
It's interesting. It's interesting with the John Wall situation because I kind of feel like in a way John Wall would be accepting of kind of being that second guy behind.
Oh, he's already gone out and said, "Thank God I don't have to carry the load like I was doing at the initial part." He already knows he's deferring to Beal. So,
but Westbrook, you already know how Westbrook is. He's not even going to come out and really say it. It'll just be kind of passive aggressive about it.
Yeah, I could see a fight between Beal and Westbrook. I thought I was going to see a fight between Harden and Westbrook, but that was just like two passive aggressive people you would never see a fight from. But Beal, he'll fight you.
Yeah, because Beal can play off ball, but
if you're playing off ball for a guy who probably won't pass it as much versus you have a guy right now who will pass it to everybody because.
But here's the funny thing, though. Westbrook didn't play any toxic basketball this year. He actually played as disciplined as he possibly could in Houston's system, and he's just another co-star that Harden ran essentially out of town. And now,
remember, Scotty Brooks was his coach in Oklahoma City. He would be his coach again in Washington. That's what I'm worried
about. But in my opinion, Scott Brooks kept him more in control than any other coach. That Donovan couldn't.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? What Quaface said right there. What y'all think about that?
Don't the NBA can't do this? I disagree. I don't agree.
The players in the NBA have more control over their contracts, so it's not really the situation with the NBA. It's just the fact that players are smarter now. They understand contracts are way a lot better than the people of old.
I'm kind of like in the middle of that. I don't want like a super team where you have like 3 superstars together. I'm okay with 2. Now, I think I said this in the beginning of last season. Y'all remember like when Kyrie and KD got together, you had LeBron and AD got together. Like when you have 2, I'm okay with 2. But 3, I'm kind of leaning towards where he feel like having 3 superstars. Yeah, I'm like, all right. But 2, I'm okay with 2.
But here's the thing that people got to realize. When you have 3 superstar caliber players on your team, you're giving up substantial depth on your team as a whole. It evens out. That's why these super teams never go crazy on the league. Let's look at, for example, how the Warriors looked when Kevin Durant got hurt and they'd given up all their depth. They looked like an ordinary ass team against Toronto. Then when Steph got hurt and Clay got hurt, it was over. So that super team thing is such an overstatement because look at what Brooklyn's gonna give up to get Harden. They're gonna give up Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, and picks. Those are 2 supporting cast players that you need, and that basically gets rid of all your depth. That's your 6th man. That's your young wing player.
Don't get me wrong. I totally understand what you're getting at. I just feel like that third person could go somewhere else and give more balance to the league. And
I agree.
I'm always a fan of like I've been more of inclined just to having the 2, but the 3, I'm okay with the 3, but I just like to see the talent a little more spread out.
You know what the issue is, VF? It's like we always talk about it. Like I always say, the only way we're gonna see a true balance in the league is to get rid of half the teams. It's a harsh reality, but there are literally.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
There are 20 bad franchises in the league and 10 good ones. It's like it's terrible.
And you know what's funny? Just to add to that, because that's a thing in 2K21 next gen.
Yeah,
we will talk about that at some point. Which teams you would take away from the league? Yeah, we definitely will get into that.
There, like I said, there are 20 bad organizations that make moves every year that are like, yeah, that's exactly why there's no parity in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Knicks, the year that they stockpiled a bunch of point guards and had nobody to play small forward or
power forward. Now they're stockpiling power forwards.
Now stockpiling power forwards, or the Rockets who let Daryl Morey basically trade all their height away and buy into small ball, and now they're going to be stuck with nothing but draft picks and not deep drafts for the next 3 years and no superstar. And they just offered James Harden $50 million. He's like, no thanks, I want to go elsewhere.
Right. And I don't have a problem with somebody turning down money to actually genuinely want to play basketball with people who want to play basketball. I have no problem with that. I prefer that more than just somebody just wanting to get on a team that they feel like they could just dominate the league. If you want to play with players that actually genuinely want to play ball, I think that's a plus for the sport, and I think we need to see a little bit more of that, because at one point we felt that money and contracts is trying to kind of start to ruin sports. It's more like in the early 2000s where you saw a lot of people get these contracts and don't live up to them. But if the GM's going to give you the money, I mean, who's you to turn it down? I'm not knocking you turning it down, but don't. I mean, I'm not knocking you taking the money, but don't take the money and then I see you on TV and you can't play worth a damn all of a sudden. Jadeveon Clowney, but we're not going to talk about these people. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you know what though? So for the first time, I think I have a real issue with a player doing this, joining up with other players thing, and the reason I have an issue with James Harden doing it is because he created that situation in Houston himself. He's been through 3 head coaches. He's been through 3 co-stars. He's been through 3 supporting casts. And now, because everybody's leaving, GM's gone that basically had the brand of ball that he wanted to play, which is small ball in isolation. D'Antoni's gone. He coached that style. Westbrook wants out. Now he wants to leave. No, fuck that.
PJ Tucker wanted to go.
Yeah. So you made your bed. No, you sleep in that bitch because you were the one that wanted to play that brand of basketball. You ran everybody out of town. Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, now Westbrook. You got 2 coaches fired. Nah, bro. Like, that's the only thing. Now you want to jump ship. You want to jump the sinking ship. Bro, you sunk it. You're the one that sunk the ship. So that's why I have an issue with James Harden doing it. I don't have an issue with LeBron. I don't have an issue with Kevin Durant. But I have a huge issue with James Harden doing this. From that perspective, he created a situation for Houston. Almost single-handedly.
What is it about when you need him?
Oh yeah. I mean, he can't stand James Harden, and I can understand why.
No, we talked about this last episode about James Harden. Like everybody wanted to leave, and we were wondering if he the common denominator because everybody wanted out all of a sudden, and now it makes it seem like he wants to leave too. Yeah, you want to leave because everybody else is gone. It's like, yo, we knew you were the problem. Like, let's not,
God forbid they get another superstar there and they have a coach that forces you to, oh, God forbid, pass the ball. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, I think he's in his head, accepted the fact he will never be the best player on the championship team. He's going where he knows that 2 other guys will get the blame, Kyrie because everybody hates Kyrie, and Kevin Durant because he's a superstar. So if he goes there and they don't win, it won't be James Harden's fault. He knows that.
Well, I mean, James Harden is a great scorer. I mean, I'm not going to take that from him, but everybody kind of know James Harden's role was exactly what it was when he was in Oklahoma City. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, Houston took a chance on him. James Harden to this day could still be like the perfect 6th man. I mean, obviously he's probably going to be starting when he goes to Brooklyn, but he could have been the perfect 6th man throughout his entire career if that team would have stayed together. And to me, there's nothing wrong with that because if they would have stayed together, they could have been in a situation where they probably would have won at least 1 title. That team was on his way. But
if James Harden goes to Brooklyn and he basically runs point and facilitates and takes about 15 shots a game, they will do well. They will be very dangerous. They'll be damn near impossible to guard. But the moment that any of those 3, and I think Kevin Durant is the least likely to do it, start arguing about touches and who's finishing games and who's closing games, that's when there's going to be a huge issue. And Kyrie and Harden are going to be the ones that have that issue. And, Steve Nash, this is his first year coaching. Imagine your first year coaching and you have 3 players like that you're coaching on one team. That has to be difficult to walk into like that. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't think the Lakers are done in free agency and this little trade moratorium either. I don't think they're done. So it's going to be really interesting for a few teams. Meek Mill's trying to lure Harden to Philly. Philly doesn't have anything that Houston would want, and I don't think Philly would trade away anything to Houston if they did want anything.
I don't even think that'd be a good idea if he went there. I think that'd be a terrible idea. What they doing in Philly, let them continue to do. Doc Rivers over there, right? Like, let them do what they do, and they don't need that problem. I think that wouldn't be a good move for them if they bought him over.
He needs to stay his ass in Houston and be a big fish in a small pond. And but he's gonna end up on Brooklyn one way or the other. So
either way, Houston has Trevor Ariza back.
Yeah, I noticed that. Nick Young said they should have never got rid of him in the first place, which I agree. Yeah. Trevor Ariza is a championship guy. He has a championship mentality. He's a championship pedigree because he won 2 with the Lakers. So I would If I was a Lakers fan, I'd take him on the Lakers.
We had him.
Fan, I'd take him on the Clippers.
We had him twice.
I remember.
Yeah, I did.
I remember.
Like this man.
I went to a game when he was on there. Actually, he was on.
Yeah, because that was before. Because we lost him, and then that's when we got Paul Pierce for that 1 year. Man, that year with Paul Pierce in Washington.
Oh yeah, the draft. Oh shit, the draft.
Yeah, the draft is tomorrow. Yeah, somebody, I think it was Complimentary Sports. He asked, like, what do we know anything about any of the guys coming out of college? I was like, yo, that's one of the things that kind of got swept under the rug with all this COVID stuff. Like, we kind of lost track of all the college players. So I don't know. I mean, like he's like one or two people.
LaMelo's
it's not the same like it would normally be.
Yeah. I was gonna say LaMelo's projected to go first. Golden State might trade out of their pick.
I heard about that as well.
That'd be interesting too, because I think a lot of big players might get traded tomorrow during the draft, believe it or not.
Yeah, G-Rob says college ball starts Thanksgiving. Man, I'm telling you right now, man. I mean, I'm not really watching college ball like that, but I'm kind of excited to see what this new coach at Georgia Southern is going to do with this team, because prior to the pandemic, and we were doing really good in the Sun Belt. We just got finished beating the Georgia State Kittens. We were doing really good, and COVID hit, and that was it. But son, I don't get this back to mommy. This is not my drink.
Uh-oh.
Go get that back to mommy.
Clearly.
Moved on to drinks.
Hey, he gave me your drink. I don't want it, man.
All I know is I looked up real quick. I seen it just flash right back out the pit. I was like, wow, he's fast.
Yeah. He's moving now. He's Jesus Christ. That boy is growing up fast. It's crazy.
Flash.
And before you know it, like 3 months ago, he's like sitting on my lap, couldn't barely sit on my lap. Now he's like running around and climbing on stuff. But no, I really want to see what they do. I just been following, as far as sports mostly. I just been following what they've been program, because at Georgia Southern we have a new AD, athletic director, and what he did, he got the coach left for the basketball program, and we got a new coach, which was the assistant coach at Texas Tech. So Texas Tech had a pretty good basketball. They had a pretty good basketball run last year. So we got the assistant coach for him, and he's just been recruiting a lot of people. So I'm really interested to see what he does. Hopefully, I get to go to a few games. It's COVID shit, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm really interested. Really interested. Yeah.
Like, in the state of Maryland, we're back to phase 2.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. This South Carolina don't give a fuck. I'm like, babe, do we got any restrictions on COVID here? Still, we don't have any anymore. Like, we're like on phase whatever the fuck. We're just go out, and they don't even care about masks or shit. Like, we wear them still.
Y'all motherfuckers on phase open.
yeah, that's baseball, man. Yeah, that's football.
Y'all want to talk about the NFL this past week, or?
Yeah, we could before we go. We still got some time.
I find it interesting. Somebody was saying the other day that Kyler Murray is better than Lamar Jackson.
I heard that after the Patriots game. I don't believe it.
He's not better than Lamar Jackson. He's performing better than Lamar right now. Lamar's struggling at this point.
You took my shades?
That's my take on it.
I think it's too early to say that he's better. But overall, it seems like this year is just such an overreaction year in general. So that just seems to be par for the course. I mean,
no, give me this.
You know, just another clue to me that sports are rigged. Of course, Buccaneers come out and score 46 this week.
Right.
Scored 3 the week before that against a defense that's pretty much the damn same. Just hilarious to me. AB had 7 catches for, I don't know, some decent amount of yardage, so they're getting him involved. But more so, I wanted to talk about just like for the playoff picture right now, like with Brees out, you would have to think that the Saints would start to falter. I mean, you know, they're gonna have Jameis starting now, so that's gonna
Jameis gonna be starting, so that's gonna be interesting. I agree.
Because we know the output of touchdowns and interceptions are going to happen.
Hey, man, he got his vision back, man. It might not be as bad.
See, and that's what I was saying. He definitely has his vision back, and he'll probably pass Kirk Cousins before we know it.
So in the East, the Bills are 7-3, Dolphins 6-3, Patriots 4-5. I called that. Jets 0-9. So, do you see the Dolphins catching the Bills as it stands? I kind of do.
I can see them doing it, but I don't think they're going to. I can see them doing it, but I don't think they will.
I think that last game was a heartbreaker because you got like 3 people. You had the game 1. You had 3 people around D-Hop, and he basically
that was a tough one.
That motherfucker don't drop nothing.
You know what's funny? When that happened, to look at the picture and you see them Jordan gloves, the emblem itself was positioned over hands that were reaching for the ball.
Right,
it was like it was Jordan.
Hey, did you hear that? Did you hear that picture got like $5.7 million in Nike's revenue?
I'm sure it did.
Because they use that picture as an advertisement, and they got them $5.7 million.
I had my own rendition of it. I was like, "Fuck them other gloves."
So I got a question now: how much that man gonna get paid off that though? They need to pay that man for a little bit of that money, bro.
In fact, they need to turn that into a football emblem.
The Chiefs are running away with the AFC West. There's no point in even talking about that.
Yeah.
The Steelers are 9-0.
Wait.
The only thing about that is if the Raiders get another win on them, because they're up on them in the division.
My fault.
Yeah, they are up on them in the division, but that's it's still a long shot. It's a long shot. You got one up on them. It's a long shot though.
I think the Chiefs only may lose another maybe one more game.
Speaking of losing the game, you think you see the Steelers losing the game?
I see them losing a game, but
that probably won't happen until week 12.
Let's look at this schedule.
Yeah, who they got?
Because this role that they're on.
Complimentary Sports also say Deshaun Watson should leave Houston.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a second. Steelers and Jaguars. That's a dub, right? I mean,
what week are we in? Coming up.
I'm guessing 10 now.
Yeah, I think it's week 10. Yeah, they should win that one.
So then home against the Ravens. I'm gonna give it to them.
That's week 11. So week 12.
Home against. I think they'll beat the Ravens. Yeah.
Who they have
home against Washington's a dub, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the game.
I don't see him. Really?
Because stranger things have happened.
I don't think.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, then they're at the Bills. I can see him losing at the Bills.
Only reason
I can see that. Now I can see them losing that game. I can legitimately see them losing that one.
Another reason I see the Steelers possibly falling to Washington because Roethlisberger is still a stationary quarterback, and if that line doesn't, if he's not protected in that game, I can see them getting to him 8-9 times.
Maybe. So, I mean, I'll put a question mark next to that one. But I mean, I think the Bills are the best chance of a loss. They got the Browns. They got at the Browns week 17. The Browns are 6-3, which it's just funny to me.
It's kind of like that division is kind of reverted back to what the AFC Central was. It was the Steelers and the Browns. Because remember, the Browns, before they became the Ravens, that was pretty much the division right there. So
I mean, the Steelers pretty much have that division tied up. And then the Colts and the Titans are knotted at 6-3. The Texans and the Jaguars are just dumpster fires. He said Deshaun Watson should leave Houston. Oh, it's not really his option right now. So, I mean, he has a couple years left there. And quarterbacks don't get traded very often in this league. So,
nah.
That's interesting. Let's go to NFC. The NFC East, man.
Giants may wind up they pretty much. If it wasn't for the fact that the Eagles are 3-5-1. And the fact that I'm like, my team got swept by the Giants, so I can't really say much. But the Eagles lost pretty much. Daniel Jones was able to make up for a play that he tripped over and still scored. I don't know who gets fired on the Eagles coaching staff for that to happen? That he gets free like that in 2 consecutive games.
Hey, Pooh could probably answer that question.
Yeah, because
Doug Peterson can't live off that one Super Bowl forever.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that like the spin in the media there. I'm listening to Pooh and Real Mama Eagle. As far as the Philly crowd, the spin in the media is that they're trying to still place it all on Carson Wentz, and it's just like, no. I'm like, there's a lot of coaching decisions going on that don't make any sense as far as the Eagles are concerned. So, yeah.
Right.
It's funny because me and VF talked about this a couple years ago when Carson Wentz was getting absolutely no blame. He went from getting absolutely no blame to all the blame. It's kind of funny.
I think the thing about
I mean, this NFC West is every bit.
I think Seattle's starting to become suspect.
Yeah, they faltered.
Yeah. The NFC West pretty much.
Yeah, Seattle's becoming suspect, and Arizona like they're becoming the leaders of that division.
The Rams are still hanging in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Rams are. Yeah, you can't forget about them. You're right.
The 49ers are out of it, so.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean they just have too many injuries. It's actually fucking an accomplishment. They're 4-6 right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Packers 7-2. They have that division. They're just gonna start getting on a roll.
Sure, unless Minnesota gets hot.
And yeah, I don't see nobody running. Nobody catching them.
The only thing I can give credit for individual player is when they're on a hot streak. There's really no stopping them, and that's Kirk Cousins. That's the only thing I'll give him credit. Other than that, he can take his hating ass. He can stay his hating ass in Minnesota, and I hope they lose out. That's all.
And then the Saints are for now at the top of the division at 7-2. Buccaneers are 7-3. I could honestly see them losing maybe one more game.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a fight between those two, but with Drew Brees out, there's going to be a lot of things, we're going to have to see how that plays out.
Have they confirmed that Winston is starting, or are they still going?
Yeah. Everybody talks shit about Taysom Hill, but Taysom is not starting.
Yeah, because if they would have gone with Taysom, I've been like, something's going on there. Something's wrong.
No, Taysom is a good utility,
but he's
quarterback. But he's not starter material. Whoever keeps saying that, they stop lying to themselves.
I see an article that says the Saints need to start Jameis Winston over Taysom Hill, and it isn't close.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it isn't close.
I totally agree with you on that. But I mean, the Falcons, as far as they go, the thing they need to do is just keep playing football. That's all they need to. I don't see them, getting any further. They're 3-1 since they changed coaches, which is good, but they're not a threat to anybody. The only thing they can do is just keep playing ball. I don't see them. They're in a weird situation where they don't necessarily need to tank, but they don't need to try hard either. So they're like in the middle. No telling what they're going to do. As far as the Panthers, they're in the same boat. Just keep playing ball. Like, I don't know if they're in a situation they don't need to tank. Just get in a good situation where they can get a decent pick and keep it moving.
Let me go back to Washington real quick. I like the fact that Ron Rivera doesn't give a damn about the outside noise when it comes to what people think, as far as like the media and especially fans. Fans don't know shit when it comes to what they're trying to do. So I like the fact that he's following the beat to his own drum, and it's just keeping it pushing. I'm like, I like the fact that Alex Smith, even though he has shown rust, he's playing very good right now. The offense is coming along. I'm like, this is a rebuild season. Everybody tends to forget about that as far as Washington is concerned. People, fans, media falling into these old habits, and you start to see that these elements get exposed when somebody like Ron Rivera comes in and just shoots it straight. So,
right.
But I like that. But I like the roster thus far. They could improve upon it, especially our offensive line. But yeah.
So I got a question about your Patriots, Bills. Good Patriots or bad Ravens? So what happened this last game? Good Patriots or bad Ravens?
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it because I said it was boring as fuck because there were no fans, and I don't care about the Patriots anymore anyway, so I didn't watch it. I'll be honest.
I think it was more bad weather because when it was time for the Ravens to possibly try to do something towards the end, that's when the skies opened up and all of a sudden you could barely see the teams on the field.
Yeah, like what it was like the last 2 minutes of the game. It was like,
and there was not like everything that Lamar Jackson kind of lacks as a passer really got exposed. He really had to just run because I've been that quarterback when the skies open up like that. It's not pretty at all. You could barely hold on to the ball to even pass this added weight to the football. And you basically become a power sweep type of quarterback at that point. So,
yeah, right. Yeah, so I looked at it. To me, it felt like it was more bad Ravens when I saw it. I mean, it was just to me when I looked at it, I didn't like what I saw out of the team. And shout out to Engraven Vids. He did a great video, or he's doing a great live stream on the whole game. Pretty good analysis for the game. And they basically explained it. It was like they just did not play up to their potential. Like the Pats did everything they could to give that game away, and the Ravens just could not. They could not capitalize on nothing. That's why I said it was more bad Ravens than anything.
So you know what's funny, VF, is I went to a Falcons and Patriots game.
It was last year. I remember you went to last year.
No, it was like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago.
Was it 3 years? Oh yeah. It was right after the Super Bowl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember.
And it was foggy as hell in that stadium for that game. So I definitely understand what it's like, being in the fucking stadium and not being able to see anybody. I had pretty good seats, not being able to see anything on the field. Once that fog moved in, you couldn't see shit. We literally, like, the whole crowd was just watching the Titans run.
Right. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Complimentary Sports says Kurt is a stat stuffer. You're talking about Cousins, right?
Yeah, he's talking
DJ, you believe that?
I totally believe that. That is confirmed.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Vikings. The Vikings, they always seem like this team that could go far, but they always fall short. It's really weird about that team.
The thing was, it was like they had everybody in place. They could have just stuck with what's his face, the quarterback they had before Cousins, just one more year.
Case Keenum?
Yeah,
Keenum wasn't that bad.
That's what I'm saying. He was good for what that team was at the time. They brought in Kirk Cousins and they went backwards.
I agree. I'm not saying it was the future, but they could have went one more year on Case Keenum, because he actually did, because that was the year that they beat the Saints with that touchdown. Yep. That touchdown throw. Yeah, he actually played good that season.
Yeah, that's why I think the Vikings are just cursed, because you just slapped the quarterback in the face. I'm like, he basically helped you guys get to the NFC Championship, and then you bring in somebody to replace him. You ain't being bothered to sign him. I'm like,
So here's a question I have for y'all. Just looking at these records here. You got the Steelers 9-0, Chiefs 8-1, Bills 7-3. So to me, right now, just looking at the Chiefs and the Steelers, I feel like right now it seems like that the Super Bowl winner is going to come out of one of those two teams. Do you see anybody in the NFC, Packers, Buccaneers, that would be even a relatively good matchup for them in the Super Bowl? Because I feel like
honestly,
outside of the Buccaneers and the Packers, I don't see anybody in the NFC beating.
Honestly, I don't want to say this as a homer, because this team got a bad rap, but I think the Falcons will play good against any of those teams.
No, I'm talking about realistically.
Yeah, like, realistically, right now, out of the NFC, I could see the Seahawks. I could see the Buccaneers. I would say the Saints, but they don't have the quarterback anymore. But I see probably just those two in the NFC. Maybe the Packers. I think the Packers.
I would love to see a Packers Super Bowl against either of those teams.
Yeah, it's just something about the Packers. I just don't. I don't believe in the Packers all the way for some reason. I just don't. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I don't believe in any team out of the NFC West, man.
Yeah, I realistically only see.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Don't sleep on Arizona.
I get it, but I feel like when it comes to playoff time, they're not going to be able to run the ball good enough.
That is true. I can agree with that.
Oh,
good, DJ.
I was going to say, yeah, all I just see is Tampa.
Yeah, I see Tampa and Green Bay for me, man. I feel like the Super Bowl champ is coming out of the AFC this year. The Steelers and the Chiefs are just. It seems like in the AFC they're just head and shoulders above the rest right now.
But the Steelers are one injury at quarterback away from that not being reality for them.
That's true.
And he
already got dinged up.
Yeah, he's already dinged up. So
yeah,
that's true.
It's interesting to see.
But then the Chiefs, they're just chugging along. Who did their one loss come to? The Raiders?
What's that?
It was the Raiders.
Yeah, the Chiefs lost. They only lost to the Raiders. Yes.
So that's why that division lead is kind of
it's kind of wonky because like if the Raiders, I don't know what their schedule is like. I mean, I don't even know what their record is, but them to have they're 6-3. Yeah, if they just continue to be successful, they can make a run at the division. I don't think they will though, because if they turn around and beat the Chiefs again, because I think this time they'll play them in Vegas. So if they play them and they win, and then that'll be 2 losses versus 3, and you're gonna have a situation where the Raiders just gonna have to win out, which I doubt they will. But just the fact that they that one loss on the Chiefs is a divisional loss could, it's a leg up on the for the Raiders. It's far-fetched as it is. Now, if it was just a one loss against like a non-divisional opponent, I mean, it wouldn't mean much. But it's different because it's actually against a divisional opponent.
Because I saw the Titans being maybe able to beat the Chiefs come playoff time, but they seem like they're like a distant 4th best team in the AFC right now, man.
Yeah.
Steelers, Chiefs, and either the Bills or the Dolphins, and I think the Titans come after that. I don't know. I think the AFC is a bit more clean cut than I thought it was gonna be.
G Rob says Kyler Murray turns the ball over a lot. What is his stats?
Does he? Let me look.
I don't. That's what I was asking. What's that? Because I haven't been following him.
Are y'all seeing this shit on Twitter?
I'm not watching Twitter. What's going on?
Tommy Hilfiger has a partnership. I don't know if it's a partnership, but they put out some clothing with the NFL teams on it. Let me.
Okay, that's interesting.
Let me get your thoughts on that.
Kyler, 2,300 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 8 picks.
How many fumbles?
I don't know.
I mean, based on that, that's not too bad.
I'm like, I sent the image to the Twitter DM.
Okay. Y'all got anything else? You're ready to close it out and get ready for Thursday.
Oh shit! Well, 5 fumbles.
Oh, we got 5 fumbles. Okay, now we making. Now we talking about.
He had 4. He had 4 last year. No, I'm sorry. He had 5 last year all year, and he already has 4 this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's not That's not the best. Now I see what he's saying about. Yeah, it's kind of ass.
Doesn't Deshaun Watson have a bit of a fumbling problem too? But I think he has a way worse line though.
Yeah, he's probably not technically running for his life, but with no one receiver, he probably will have to run for his life.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird that he fumbles the ball that lot. He has so many weapons. It's kind of weird.
I don't think.
He does run a lot too. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't throw the ball away either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's like D-Hop down. He's like D-Hop down there somewhere.
He's just throwing it up there. So what else y'all got before we go, man? You got
I think that's all I got.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out if episode 9 will be more just gameplay. Not necessarily NHL, maybe No Man's Sky, where I'll just like, because again, using a kickback game like No Man's Sky to just talk about certain things. So
okay,
okay, that's on me.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. He's looking through the Tommy Hilfiger stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the 90s when because they've now debunked the fact that he didn't call people the N-word.
Right, yeah.
But back then, when everybody was thinking that, if you were caught wearing that mess, it was like, oh, you wanted Tommy Hill's N-words. So, but yeah, I don't know what to think about that. Hold on, let me see if I.
Let me see. Oh, that's not too bad. Hey, that look all right. What you got, DJ? Before we go.
Oh no, that was it. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to do gameplay for episode 9.
Gotcha. What about you, Bills? What you got going on?
I'm trying to set up a streaming schedule, and the latency was pretty good. I kind of figured out what the latency problem was with the first stream, so that's a positive. So
this is what we were looking at.
Yeah. So yeah, trying to set up a streaming schedule and figure out exactly what I'm going to stream and go from there. But I do want to start streaming on a more consistent basis so it can kind of be coupled with the podcast I'm starting soon.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the plan with me. I'm going to be doing all my gameplay stuff on Twitch. So all of our Twitch stuff is in the description. Everybody should go and follow us on Twitch. Like, you know, my handle, DJs and Bills. Because we're out here playing these games, man. We won't talk about it. We be about it. You know, we talk about it. We got real problems with these games that need to be fixed. Some of these dudes be complaining just because, and they trash at these games. We ain't going to talk about these dudes, but yeah, man, we out here doing it, man. So I don't have anything else. Like I said, man, all the links in the description as far as the Patreon. If you guys want to do that, the Discord, that's cool. All the other good stuff there. DJ, you can catch him on Twitch, catch Bills on Twitch. You can follow our Twitter handle. Let me put that in a banner right now so you can catch that as well. Where is that? Oh, no, that's Twitch. That's no, that's not it. Patreon.
Stay safe in these Twitter streets tomorrow when this Madden.
There it is right there. Yeah, stay safe in these streets. Yeah, man. But go ahead.
I'm about to say that'll be the first thing I'll look at going on, because the guy, I think he writes for Operation Sports. So that'll be if I wake up and it's close to 11 or after 11, knowing how I sleep, I'll probably just go straight there. I'm not going to check Twitter, social media, or anything like that beyond Operation Sports. So.
Yeah, and Complimentary Sports has a new video out. If y'all haven't, go and check out his video. Go to his channel, subscribe over there. He said, I got a lot of improvements to do. Hey, man, we all started somewhere, bro. Trust me. My video still ain't the best. So it is what it is. So, I remember
my early vids. Oh, God.
Tell me about it, bro. I remember my very first vid. One of my first ones, I did it on my phone, and I was using I didn't use it on my phone, and I was actually, where is it? One of my first vids I did, I was using my phone, and I used the image to show off Madden 13 on this.
God.
Yeah. So I pointed my phone to that little Wii U screen to show off Madden 13. It's one of my first ones. So we all started somewhere, man. Don't worry, man. Just keep being consistent, man. We'll keep supporting all the way, always. So
I think the one thing that helped me was that at least I felt like I came in with some video production basics already planning, and for the fact that I was one of those people that was recording in the 90s with the hookups with the VCR. So
right.
I already had, according to the VHS tapes and stuff like that, showing my age, I already had direct footage and done it before. So it was just the voiceover part I had to get over.
Right. Yeah, man. So, other than that, man, we will be back Thursday. And we're going to be talking about this Madden information. We're going to talk about that. I'm still dying on that hill, man. I think Bills decided to climb on that hill with me. Hey, man, I think the game's going to be pretty legit. I'm sticking with it. I don't know nothing. I'm not an insider. People already said I'm a game changer because I like Madden 21, but that's been going on for a while. Who gives a fuck?
Y'all some fucking weird. Y'all some fucking weirdos. Y'all saying that?
Yeah, because much we talk about these bullshit devs. Not you, OG. Right. You cool. OG, you the greatest. Not you, OG.
OG knows he's good money.
Yeah, he's good money, but some of the other ones, boy, I tell you, pick and roll is great. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here, man. Y'all guys be easy. Y'all be safe. Y'all wear y'all mask. And if not, I mean, talking about this. Go check out the Teespring, man. We got masks. You know, got all these lockdowns, and they got to wear masks when you go out, man. Man, why don't you buy a mask or the gator from us, man? Show everybody what the best podcast is going on out here. Get a hoodie, too, because it's getting cold. All right, y'all. We're out of here. You guys be easy. Be safe. Y'all be blessed. All right. Peace.
Thanks for coming out.
Don't play video games. Play basketball.
With the pick and roll.